Session involving one of today's sponsors, Salesforce.com, and they have brought along a representative from Homeless Link as well to talk about how Homeless Link and citizens are working together to make sleeping rough a thing of the past and what you can do to help with that. Our two speakers are Gavin Mee from Salesforce.com and Matt Harrison, who is Director of Business and Social Enterprise at Homeless Link. Gentlemen, over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Gavin Mee. I run part of the UK for Salesforce. I hope you had an enjoyable morning and good break. So Salesforce are a company that have been investing massively inside public sector for the last 2 years, which I've really enjoyed being a part of. We've done many things, like we've now generated a data center in the UK to help with your local residency needs. And we've also built a very large ecosystem of both partners, affiliates, programs, and I'm really excited to say 50 plus customers that we've grown inside public sector for the last 2 years. But I'm kind of not here to speak about that today. I'm not to talk about our products, our services. I'm here to talk about a much more wide-ranging issue, which is about social issues and how you use information technology to help you address those social issues. So we as a company take social responsibility really, really important to us. It's delivered through something called our foundation. It's one of our founding principles that we developed when we founded in 1999. And our foundation works on a philanthropic model of 3 1s. So the first one is company equity. So we put 1% of our company equity into our foundation, and that's allowed us to donate over 80 million back into society on a worldwide basis in terms of helping trying to cure social ills. Things like in the UK, developing talent in young people that are underprivileged or from the poor side of society, and we help them through things like the Biz Academy, and we help them through things like IDA to try and develop ideas that can actually make them entrepreneurs of the future. In America, we've developed a state-of-the-art child hospital and care center that may actually impact diseases for children across the world globally, and we've developed that over the last 3 years. So we've developed this 80 million worth of grants, but more importantly, we generate 1% of our time. So each employee of our company donates generally 10 days per year back into helping support social issues. So myself, I've actually donated a month in the last year, so I'm running the marathon on Sunday, and pleased to say we've generated over £40,000 for NSPCC. And we also invest a lot through that. Finally, through our services. So we actually have 24,000 customers worldwide that we actually help who are non-for-profit, that actually benefit from using our services on a non-for-profit basis. And I'm pleased to say that I have one of our founding foundation partners with us today, and this is Matt Harrison from Homeless Link. So homelessness is something that's really important in the UK. If you look at the figures for last year, 115,000 people were registered homeless. And what Homeless Link do, there's a lot of blood, sweat and tears. There's a lot of effort from Matt and his team trying to help keep people off the streets. But actually they innovate. They use technology to help them do that. And rather than hearing that from me and from Salesforce today, we've got Matt along to hear from him, his incredible story, their incredible journey, and how we've been privileged to help them do that. But before we get into that, I just want to run a short video. Okay, thank you, Matt. Okay, so if you'd like to join me over here, we're just going to do a question and answer session for the next 10 to 15 minutes to draw out some of the real work that Matt and his team have been doing. So Matt, maybe we could start with just telling us a little bit about Homeless Link and what you've been doing.
Absolutely, Gavin. So Homeless Link is a charity. We are the national membership charity for homelessness services. So all of the charities across England, over 500 of them, providing hostels, day centres, advice services, employment services in all your localities are our members. We provide them with a voice to local and national government, advocating for policies that will end homelessness and trying to mitigate against some of the policies that may have the unintended consequence of increasing homelessness. We also work with our members to help them be better. So we provide them with training, with guidance, with tools that can help them deliver better services to homeless people. One of the things we've been doing is we've been working for the last 5 years with Salesforce and the Salesforce Foundation to build an app on the Salesforce platform called Inform. It enables our members to record the work they do with homeless people. So rather than using Salesforce technology to sell people things, we're using their same technology to record the impact of the work our members are doing. And today there are 7,000 staff based in charities all over the country using Salesforce to record the work they do. What that helps them do is A, deliver a better service, they can do better casework. It also helps them evidence their impact. In these times, our members are competing with other really equally worthwhile causes for support. And that's support from the public, and that's support from commissioners and funders. And they need to be able to evidence that what they do works. We know it works because we work with them every day, but they need to be able to show that. Our Salesforce system we've built enables them to evidence that impact. So that's just one of the ways we've been using Salesforce and working with you guys.
Thank you. And if you take the wider problem, what do you think it will take to end homelessness in the UK?
A friend of mine said the important thing you need to have as a charity is you've got to have a big hairy goal. You've got to have a vision of what you ultimately want to achieve. Now, we don't want to manage homelessness, we want to end homelessness in England. We don't think that a country as rich as the UK should have homelessness. There are 4 things we need to do to end homelessness. We need to do more to prevent people losing their homes. If someone does become homeless, we need to respond more quickly. Some people will have quite complex and severe needs and may need long-term support. We need to make sure that support is in place. And the other thing we need to do is make sure that once people are helped, they're helped for the shortest time possible, and we encourage them back into work, back into housing, so that they don't end up homeless again. It's a big vision, but you know, and we've got a long roadmap of what we want to do over the next 10 years, and what society needs to do. But there's some good first steps we can take as well.
Okay, so take that as the broader vision and what you wish to achieve in the future. How do you use technology?
Okay.
How will you achieve that?
So I had a meeting with the housing minister when Grant Shapps was the housing minister a couple of years ago. And he said to me, Matt, last week I went to Manchester. I got off the train at Piccadilly Station. I saw someone sleeping on the streets. And I wanted to do something to help. And I didn't want to give them money, and I didn't want to give them food. I wanted to ring up and get someone out there to help them. And I didn't know what number to call. I didn't know what to do. And he said, if I'm the housing minister, and I don't know what to do, what chance does any other members of society have? So he funded us at Homeless Link to set up StreetLink. It's a really simple proposition. There are 326 local authorities in England providing housing services, which many of you are working for. We can't expect a member of the public to know when they've moved over the border from Hackney into Islington and who has responsibility for that place. What they see is someone sleeping on the street and they want to help. So what we do with StreetLink is we connect 3 people together. We connect the member of the public who wants to help, the person sleeping on the street who needs help, and the person working in the local authority or the local charity who can help them. So we're not building a new infrastructure. All we're doing is we're taking that report, we've built an app, we've got a call centre, we've got a website. we use cloud technology to take that data, to store it in the cloud, and we route it via email. We talk to each of your housing departments about the right person to get that email, and about what that local authority will do when it gets a response. Mm-hmm. So we tell the citizen, this is what your local authority says it will do if they get a report of someone sleeping rough in your area. If you're not happy with that, challenge them. Go through your local councillor to challenge them. What we'll also do is we'll follow up that referral. So about 10 days later, we get in touch with the local authority and say, what happened to that referral? What happened to that person? And then we ring the member of the public back and tell them what happened. So we provide that feedback loop. It's really powerful.
Fantastic. And based on your experience, generally, how long does this type of evolution take? Using technology, helping, and based on what you're able to do?
So it's actually really easy because we didn't do a massive systems integration. We didn't talk to each of the local authority ID departments and work out how to plug them all together. We used cloud technology to build our app and our website and our back-end systems in days and weeks, not in months and years. And we didn't spend a lot of money on it. Yeah. I think our total IT budget for the whole thing was £30,000, and we spend, £15,000 a year on keeping it going. It's not a big investment. What it does is it enables a member of the public to not care about the framework, about all of the organisations you work for, and that pattern of provision of as Mark was talking about in his earlier presentation about all of the services that are delivered by all of the different public service organisations. The citizen shouldn't have to care about that. They just got a very simple thing. There is someone sleeping rough and they need help. So we built technology really,
very quickly.
It's not difficult to just use innovative technology to connect people together, and without worrying about the legacy of backends and the legacy of IT systems.
Wonderful, thank you. So looking with the audience we have today, a lot of people absolutely life and soul into social services. What would you ask the audience in terms of helping Homeless Link establish their vision? What would be your...
Two asks. The first one is, if you're inspired to help, then get your phone out, go to the App Store and download the StreetLink app. Or bookmark the phone number if you'd rather talk to someone. We've got staff there 24/7 if you want to talk to people. So if you see someone sleeping on the street, you can make that decision. Do you give them money? Do you give them food? I wouldn't intervene in that choice. I would just make the point that maybe that won't end their homelessness. But whether you give them money or food or whatever, but also tell us about that you've seen someone sleeping rough, and we will use that intelligence to route it through to the local authority, to route it through to charities. That's the first thing. The second thing is about publicity. How many of people in the room had heard of StreetLink before I started talking? All right? About 5 or 6 of you. That's our biggest battle, is publicity. We haven't got a big publicity budget. In fact, we've had to battle with government to use any of our government funding to spend on publicity. Francis Board actually puts a veto on all publicity, so we had to get a specific exemption from the Cabinet Office to do any publicity work at all. But what's really important is all of your websites. If they could mention StreetLink, we've got quite a number of local authorities do, and it's brilliant on their websites. There's links to StreetLink. We've got a whole set of digital assets with the links, with the technology, with the widgets you need to put on your website. If you come along to our store, we're sharing a stall with Salesforce. Talk to Stephen, one of my comms team. He'll provide you with the details if you need to do that. So 2 things. 1, act as an individual, as a person, to learn about StreetLink, to tell others about StreetLink, to download the app. And secondly, think about your organisation's websites.
Okay, thank you, Matt. I hope you agree, some really important asks there. As a final point of reflection, once again, based on your experience and what you've done and achieved over the last 5 or 6 years, what do you think would be the key messages around using technology and social to help with local and regional government?
I think what we've got to do is we've got to think particularly about the issue of social and mobile, and think that those technologies can solve social problems. Actually, we can use those to connect people together, and ultimately, public services are around people providing services to other people. And that's what social and mobile technologies can do much more efficiently, much more effectively than bureaucracies and administrations.
Okay, great.
And I know that there's going to be a breakout session, isn't there?
There is. So following this, there's going to be a breakout session where we've got one of our main technology evangelists who's going to show you how you each can actually build applications very quickly. And we're going to show you the 20-minute test of how you can build applications in no less than 20 minutes.
Can I make an observation?
Yes.
It's great, the app that you've got there, but it's creating a problem. Thank you. Hello. I work with a company called Love Clean Streets, or had a product called Love Clean Streets, and it was sponsored very much by Boris Johnson. So it's a shame Boris and Grant weren't really talking together, because it does exactly what this app does here. The problem is I'm not going to necessarily download that app and all the other apps that do a similar sort of thing. So had you not thought about using some technology that's already there, or maybe it's a forum that Socitm can use to try and bring these technologies together? Because, you know, as a member of the public, I want to download an app that's going to do that, but it's also going to take care of fly tipping, graffiti, any of the other things that I see on the street.
Yeah, agree. Absolutely. And we did talk to. We did have conversations with My Society, with upmystreet.com. You know, we were talking to other organisations. Ultimately, it was about speed of delivery and about focus. Yeah. And actually, that's one of the reasons that we built our own app and website was about time to get this launched and live.
Yeah,
and
I think the problem that you'll have though is that you won't get the take up that you really deserve.
It's a fair point. We've been running since December 2012. We get over 1,000 reports of homeless people sleeping on the streets each month, and we get, as you can see, thousands of people into accommodation. Clearly, the more publicity we can do, the better. And I do accept that, you know, but that I also that you can use existing vehicles as well, and that's a really good idea. On the other hand, there is this quest for, you know, the ultimate reporting app or the ultimate database that will do everything, and I think it's a bit of a holy grail, you know, with the Monty Python references. But you know, it's something that we, you know, that we can spend too long trying to coordinate everything together, that we actually don't achieve the social impact we can do by atomizing the issue and solving one problem with one simple proposition. Yeah,
I think for myself, 2 points to that. So our mantra as an organisation is help to companies in an IT sense develop iteratively and evolve iteratively and never push themselves into a corner. Clearly being cloud is very, very much aligned to that. So I think an iterative model, getting out there, have the business outcome and then building on that. And I think the second is an ask. You know, we don't come here with the answers. We want to come here and show you, both as us as an organisation and obviously some of the valued work that we're trying to support and the amazing thing that Matt and his team are doing. Feedback. You know, if you hear things that you can help Matt with, that's really a primary objective of this session, that we'd love to hear from you. We sincerely would.
I'm not wedded to the StreetLink app and the StreetLink website and the StreetLink call centre. They do cost money to run. I'm wedded to the issue of solving the problem that half the people who sleep on our streets have never asked anyone for help before they sleep rough. That half the people who walk past those people want to help and don't know what to do, and that every night someone spends sleeping on the streets, they will cost the public purse more money in terms of increased use of A&E, increased antisocial behaviour and increased health problems, as well as, you know, a risk of them being victims of violence. So the sooner we can act to solve that problem of sleeping rough, the sooner we can turn off the StreetLink app.
Okay, great. I think we're out of time. Yes. So thank you for your attention and for the questions. Both Matt and I will be around for a good while later, so if you have any other points or feedback or questions, we'd be pleased to take them. Thank you, Matt. I think it's really great what they're doing, and we really hope that we can cure homelessness in the future. Thank you very much.